Hi everyone, I'm going to be reading Chapter 8 of Gangsta Granny. Chapter 8. A small wig in a jar. Behind the bushes outside Granny's bungalow, whilst Mum and Dad were downstairs in the living room watching Strictly Stars Dancing on the TV, Ben had scaled down the drain pipe outside of his bedroom window and cycled the 5 miles to Granny's. This alone was a sign of how curious Ben had become. He didn't like cycling. His parents were always encouraging him to get more exercise. They told him being fit was absolutely necessary if he wanted to be a professional dancer. But since it didn't make much difference when you were lying under a sink screwing in a new length of copper piping, Ben had never willingly taken any exercise. Until now. If Granny was really going out for the first time in 20 years, Ben had to know where. It might just hold the key to how she came to have a ton of diamonds in her biscuit tin. So he huffed and he puffed along the canal towpath on his chunky old bike until he came to Grey Close. The only good thing was that being November, instead of being drenched in sweat, he was only mildly moist. He had pedalled fast because he knew he didn't have that much time. Strictly Stars Dancing seemed to go on for hours, days even, but it had taken Ben half an hour to cycle over to Granny's, and as soon as the show would be over, Mum would be calling him downstairs for his tea. Ben's parents loved all the dancing TV shows. Dancing on ice skates, so you think you might be able to dance a bit. But they were completely obsessed with Strictly Stars Dancing. They had recorded every single episode and an unrivalled collection of Strictly memorabilia in the house, including a lime green thong once worn by Flavio Flavoli, framed with a photograph of him wearing it, a Strictly Stars Dancing real fake leather bookmark, some athlete's foot powder signed by Flavio's professional dance partner, the Australian beauty Eva Buns, his and hers official Strictly Stars Dancing leg warmers, a CD of songs nearly used on the show, a small wig in a jar that had been worn by presenter Dick Doddery, a life-size cardboard cutout of Flavio Flavoli that had some of Mum's lipstick smudged around the mouth, some earwax in a jar that belonged to a celebrity contestant, the politician Dame Rachel Predigious MP, a pair of tan tights that smelled of Eva Buns, a doodle on the napkin of a man's bottom drawn by the nasty judge Craig Malteser Woodward, a set of official Strictly Stars Dancing egg cups, a half-full tube of Ragex used by Flavio Flavoli, a Craig Malteser Woodward posable action figure, a Hawaiian hot pizza crust that had been left by Flavio, complete with a signed letter of authenticity by Eva Buns. It was Saturday, so after the show had finished, the family were going to be having cheesy beans and sausage. Neither Mum or Dad could cook, but all the ready meals Ben's mum took out the freezer, pricked with a fork and placed in the microwave for 3 minutes. This was his favourite. Ben was hungry. He didn't want to miss it, which meant he needed to get back from Granny's house quickly. If it had been a Monday night, say they were having chicken tikka lasagna, or a Wednesday and doner kebab pizza, or Sunday and Yorkshire pudding chow mein was on the menu, Ben wouldn't have been so bothered. The supermarket chain where Ben's dad worked liked to bring cuisine of 2 countries together in one easy microwavable pack. By combining dishes from different countries, perhaps he would be able to bring peace to a deeply divided world. Or maybe not. Night was falling, and as it was late November, it was rapidly growing colder and darker, and Ben was shivering in the bushes as he spied on his granny. Where can she be going, thought Ben. She hardly ever goes out. He thought he saw a shadow move in her bungalow. Then her face appeared at the bungalow window. Ben quickly shot out of view. The bushes rustled. Shh, thought Ben. Had the old lady seen him? After a few moments, the front door opened slowly, and out stepped a figure dressed entirely in black. A black jumper, black leggings, black gloves, black socks, and probably even a black bra and knickers. A black balaclava disguised the face but from the stoop, Ben knew it was Granny. She looked like someone out of the covers of the books she loved reading. She straddled her mobility scooter and revved the engine. Where on earth was she going? And more importantly, why was she dressed like a ninja? Ben propped his bike against the bushes and got ready to tail his own grandmother, which was one thing he never in a million years dreamed of doing. Like a spider scuttling around the bathroom, trying not to be seen, Granny steered her scooter close to the walls. Ben followed on foot as quietly as possible. It wasn't too difficult to keep up, as the top speed of the mobility scooter was 4 miles per hour. Whirring across the road, she suddenly looked back as if she'd heard something, and Ben dived behind a tree. He waited, holding his breath. Nothing. After a few moments, he poked his head around the trunk and saw that Granny had reached the end of the road. He continued the chase. Soon they were near the town's high street. It was all but deserted. As it was early evening, all the shops had shut for the day, and the pub restaurants had yet to open for the night. Granny stayed out of the glow of the streetlights, swerved into doorways as she neared her destination. Ben gasped when he saw where she had parked. The jeweller's shop. Necklaces and rings and watches sparkled in the window. Ben couldn't believe his eyes as Granny took out a tin of cabbage soup from the scooter's basket. She glanced around theatrically and then pulled back her arms in readiness to smash the tin through the jeweller's shop window. "No!" shouted Ben. Granny dropped the tin. It crashed to the ground and the cabbage soup oozed on the pavement. "Ben!" hissed Granny. "What are you doing here?" Here is a picture of Granny. You can see her dressed as a ninja, and that is a jeweller's shop, and there's Granny's mobility scooter. I wonder what's going to happen next. That's the end of the chapter. I hope you enjoyed listening to the story, and more chapters will be coming soon.